Got all the sheep looking at the dogs now. So we're going to be heading back up north today to our home area for Christmas. So we've got no lockdowns in place. I think we're alright where we are. I think we're still in tier 3, but that may just ruin our plans for New Year and getting away in the new year. So we could end up at the fabricators again, who knows. So thanks for joining us again, and welcome to our Christmas special. You want me to trim your beard?
Need some trimming around my mouth.
Right, how we said?
I don't know, am I sat alright?
This fire's burning my head.
What's your little pop?
Right, okay guys, thanks for joining us on this Christmas special. And thanks for sending in the questions as well. We've got quite a few questions to answer, so we're just going to mosey on through them. We'll try to remember to do the shout outs as well, but there's quite a lot, and I'll get sidetracked and I'll start rambling and everything else. So we've got our Christmas outfits on, and I've got my Merry Christmas Shitters Full t-shirt on. Ellen loves her Santa's hat. Right, okay. Right, let's start. Let's look at the first questions then.
Right, so we've got Friboski has asked, what's it like driving a large left-hand drive vehicle like that in the UK, and what sort of challenges do you have, if any?
Right. So, what's it like driving a left-hand vehicle in the UK? The main problem, what I think we had when we were first driving is, as I mentioned, coming up to some junctions, especially roundabouts, I couldn't see right, you know, on the roundabouts, and that really forced me into getting a wide-angle camera fitted as sort of like a mirror, but you can actually see what traffic's coming from your blind spot, and that's really been
Helped a lot, hasn't it?
Yeah, real great help. Yeah, that's one of the biggest improvements what I think we've had fitted on the camper, you know, for the driving capabilities and that. I mean, as for driving the vehicle in this country, I think it's great because you are quite high up, and you can see over cars, so you've got a really good perspective on where you are, the position of the road where you are, and you know it's relatively easy to drive. So yeah, wide angle camera is one of the best things we've had for driving in the UK.
So would you say that's been like your only challenge really, like
Challenge
with it?
Challenge with the camper.
Like driving it.
Driving
the
it,
left-hand drive.
yeah, I would say that was the main thing. You had to read the junction before you got to the junction, really.
Yeah.
You had to look at the angle of the road and just, yeah, you had to do like a risk assessment before you actually got to like the junction. So yeah, I would say that's about that.
It's alright, my Face ID don't work on my phone.
She's got the beard on her, Face ID doesn't work. We were going to write these down, but then there were that many. We're like, okay, we'll...
So we'll go with bug out vehicles.
Bug
next.
out vehicles, okay.
Bug out vehicles has asked us, would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Got to be your sized duck, ain't it? Has it?
No, it's got to be 100 duck-sized horses. We just said boo.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, just get a crisp packet out, couldn't you? And just crinkle it and they'd all run off, wouldn't they? Yeah. Yes.
I wouldn't want to fight like a really big duck.
No, because ducks can be a little bit like, a bit boisterous,
A bit beaky.
Yeah, they can be,
yeah. Claret Buck
wants
to know, what's the value of the truck, brackets, the price it would take for you to sell it?
Oh, gosh.
No, but the value of the truck is it's only what somebody is willing to pay.
Yeah.
And right now, the truck is more valuable to us than what anybody would probably be willing to pay for it.
Yeah, quite so. And I think as well, like the crawl through's not finished yet, and there's just a few bits outstanding, isn't there, what we need to like finalise probably this next year. I can tell you exactly how much I've put into the vehicle. I mean, the vehicle were relatively cheap. We paid €10,000 for the vehicle, didn't we? And it came with 22,000 miles on. I think I paid £2,500 to actually get it into the vehicle from
into the country.
Into the country from the Netherlands. Ferry costs, insurance, drivers, and so on. So yeah, the vehicle cost 12,500, and then I've put around about £50,000 actually into getting it to where it is now. Yeah,
that's not including like your time building it as well.
No, yeah, that's right. I mean because I've done probably
you took 6 months off work.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 6 months off work. So yeah, basically, yeah, I think it was 7 months off work, weren't it? I took 7 months off work to actually just concentrate on the vehicle. So yeah, there's 7 months labour on top of that, if you like, and probably we actually did about 90% of the work. I mean, there are certain things like the fuel tanks were made, or the fuel tank were made by another company. The lockers were made at Graham Sheet Metals in Sheffield. So yeah, I had people helping me along the way to build things, but I mean all the designing and everything were done by ourselves, weren't it, really? So so yeah, so it took, like I said, it took 7 months, and that was just actually to get it to like a 70%, what I classed as a 70% finish or completion, and that were everything were in place and it were working, but it weren't finished. So you know, the bed were in, the table, the chairs were here, the kitchen were in, but it wasn't like as a temporary finish at that, weren't it? So
wanted to use it.
Yeah, use it, test it, make sure it worked, and then
before you finalise it.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
And the phone's locked again.
You've kind of just answered this because you did kind of mention it, but do you have a cut through?
No, not yet. I'm planning on doing that. I think I were planning on doing it last year, but I think this seat here, what Helen's actually sat on, this was one of the initial things what we put in, obviously, and we didn't go to a great expense in actually having, you know, really nice upholstery on there or anything, because I knew at some point there were going to be a cut through, a crawl through going in there. So it was like, you know, what's the point in spending a lot of money on upholstery when I may be cutting it in half in another 6 months. We've been 4 years now, haven't we? Something like 4 years, and we still haven't got this cut through going through there. One of the things what did delay the actually, you know, the construction were, I had a cubby box made inside into, so in between the passenger seat and the driver's seat, we've got this aluminium checker plate cubby box, and I wanted to get that in place, and that took me a while to get someone to make that for me, really, and I eventually got it made, and that just sets the height of, you know, the height of the crawl through, really. So that delayed it a little bit, and then there were more pressing jobs. You know, we don't need a crawl through. It's nice to have one, but we don't need one. But the kitchen, getting the kitchen finished, and the bedroom cabinets as well, weren't they? The bedroom units were more important than a crawl through. So yeah, this year I started looking at it in probably about September time, and I keep saying this year. After January, we're going to start looking at that and get that in place, I think. So.
Well, that was Dean. Dean had asked that one.
Thanks, Dean.
He also asks, what weight are you running at?
Right, the weight of the vehicle, when we initially got the vehicle built, it weighed in at 6.9 tonne. I went to one weigh bridge, and I went to another one, and then that was 6.8. So I definitely under the 7 tonne. Since then we put the bike rack on, we've put the motorbike, even though the motorbike is only about 108 kilos. It's the stuff you add into the vehicle, I think, what adds the weight.
You've got to be careful over trying to put too much stuff in it.
Yeah, you know, everything we buy, we try to buy lightweight, and you know, but I mean, you're only going to start looking at pots, pans,
Christmas tree,
6 pair of shoes, log fire.
6?
You know what I mean?
Only 6?
So yeah, initially when we had it weighed, it were around about 6.8, 6.9 tonne. Yeah, what it weighs now, I would say we are up to 7.5 tonne mark. So yeah.
Alright, so let's have a look what we've got next. Toy Cruise wants to know the pros and cons of such a vehicle.
The pros and cons. The pros.
I suppose you kind of covered that a little bit in your left-hand drive question.
Yeah.
You're higher up, so I mean, I suppose driving something of this size, you need to be able to predict the road a little bit better anyway. But that, you know, because you're higher up, it gives you that advantage of being able to see that bit further.
That's right, yeah.
Cons, it is quite big.
Yeah, cons, people tend to flap, you pull on the campsite or something and they come out flapping their arms, you know, oh, it's massive. And it's no bigger than, you know, a twin axle caravan. So I suppose when you get to this size of vehicle, I may stray off what the question were, but
pros and cons.
Yeah, pros and cons. Like I said, the vehicle is very easy to drive. You got good line of sight down the road, so, and you're over the edges as well. We've had a lot of people say, "Oh, you won't be taking that down Devon and Cornwall." Well, we have, haven't we? And there were no problems. Some of these lanes as well were like really narrow, but because you can, you know, because you're probably sitting 3 meters up, you can actually see over the edges. You can see whether another motorhome's coming up. And let's face it, if you're in a car and you come up against a motorhome, you're going to reverse, or that's what I think. If you're in a motorhome and you come up against something like this, the motorhome's going to reverse, isn't it? So that's the way I look at it. So that's one of the good points. People do move out of the way. The cons, you can, I suppose you can talk about miles per gallon, but when you look at me fuel usage, it's nothing. If I say the last 2 months, I've probably spent, I bet I've spent about, it probably works about £100 a month in fuel, because you're not driving it like a normal vehicle, are you? You know, if I go shopping, I go on the motorbike or something like that. So cons, the parts are relatively easy to buy and cheap.
Well, that's a pro.
Yeah, that's a pro. I know. I just can't think of any cons. I suppose, yeah, the con is sometimes I go outside. We're on a campsite always somewhere, and I go outside just to like clean the headlights, and 3/4 of an hour later I come back in because I've been talking to someone. It's like, that's the cons, isn't it? Yeah, people just come up, random strangers come up talking, which I don't mind. I can talk for England, but yeah, you go outside to do a simple job. It's only 30-second jobs, but then, like I say, an hour later you come back in and it put the kettle on for me, please.
So we've now got Danny P wants to know what your favourite kill, cook and eat is.
Kill, cook and eat.
I would say yours is mackerel.
Yeah,
That is a kill, cook and eat, isn't it?
Yeah.
You do like a good mackerel.
Yeah, mackerel. It's got to be barbecue though. Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking down a different route there, but yeah, I think you've answered
Well, it
that
could
one
be
for me.
anything that you've killed and cooked and eaten yourself.
I think we
if you caught a mackerel and battered it over head, then you've killed it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, mackerel.
You don't have to shoot it.
No, that's right. No, mackerel, definitely mackerel, done on a barbecue, I think is nice. I think that takes some beating. Good question.
I'm happy we just out that's food.
Yeah, nice big steak or something like that, but yeah, good question though.
Shah wants to know, do you still have your Land Rover?
Yes, we've still got the 110. It's a 110 300 TDI county station wagon, and we've took that to Morocco, haven't we? And
Well, we've got to keep that.
yeah, we've got to keep that. It's currently in storage at the minute. In fact, in the new year, and we're having a galvanised chassis on there, aren't we? So the chassis, how old is it? It's 96 into the Land Rover.
I'd have to Google it.
Yeah. It's over 20 years old, and the chassis is just getting a little bit weak. It needs some welding. It was recommended for a new outrigger last year, and I just don't think you can. Once you start welding things and sticking bits on it, it's past its best. So yeah, a new galvanised chassis.
I'll go to Insta now. I'll have a look on Insta.
Yeah.
So, Sean's asked, would you rather have a duck's beak for a week?
A duck's beak for a week?
Or webbed feet for a week? I'd want webbed feet for a week. Because duck's feet are like really, it'd be nice to like walk around like a, yeah.
I suppose I wear flip-flops a lot, so I mean, I suppose...
Yeah, you're like a duck anyway.
Yeah, I'm like a duck anyway. Duck's feet for a week.
And Ashley's Landies, what's our go-to camp dinner? I like that fry-up thing.
Yeah, fry-up, yeah.
Potatoes, eggs, bacon, maybe a bit of onion. Just all thrown in a frying pan.
I do this. I call it a fry up, and it's something what we had, with my parents. Yeah, it's any number of potatoes you've got, partially boiled, or you could just slowly shallow fry them. Onions, bacon. You can put sausage in there if you want. Egg over the top, into it. Just crack as many eggs as you want. So it's a bit of a mashed up omelette. And then we just have that like with tomato sauce, a bit of seasoning in there as well, salt, pepper, and that's really nice. Yeah, a fry up. And it's all done in one pan as well. So especially, like you say, in a camp fry up, you normally cook in one pan. And yeah, why not?
Big Smog wants to know what's the best and worst thing about having the dogs in the camper. Well, you would say space would be like the lack of space is a bad thing. I'd say Dizzy's trumps.
Yeah, they can trump. They're good at that. I suppose if you're not used to dogs and you come in the camp, I would say probably the dog smell. But I don't smell that.
You get used to it.
Yeah, you get used to it. But yeah, I would say the worst point about dogs, I mean, Daisy isn't too bad, she's underneath the table, but Barry down here, yeah, this floor space just in front of the camera just here is the sort of like the passing point, isn't it? So if I'm cooking anything and
I step over him.
Yeah, you step over him and he's, yeah.
And
So the space.
Best thing is there's always somebody pleased to see you when you come in.
Yeah, they're great, and yeah, they are good company. They are good company. They are loving and
Don't fall out with you, do they?
no, they are great. So, and they're fast on an evening. They never no trouble.
Another one from Big Smog. He wants to know what country do you want to visit most in the future?
I don't know.
Right, for me it'd be Cambodia.
I'm not going to say one country. I just want to do the journey from and head out east towards.
Yeah, but that weren't the question.
Probably China. I know. It's like, but like what I always say, like, be nice to head out, to China, turn right, and then do the loop into Cambodia and yeah. I would say if I get to Cambodia, I think I'm happy. You know what I mean? I think we've done it then. So.
Another question we've had is what's our plans for 2021 personal and for the channel?
Right, okay. What are the plans personal? That's a good one. Well, personal, I mean, the objectives are obviously to get the camper completely done. Let's get through lockdown, hopefully, and let's start travelling places. I really...
Lockdown part 3 when it happens.
Yeah, lockdown part, whatever it is.
Tier 6.
I'm bouncing off the walls. I want to get gone. Yeah, the house has been sold, so it's like, come on, let's go, and we're just not getting anywhere. Well, there are another part to that question.
And the channel.
The channel.
What's your plans for the channel?
I mean, initially we set the channel up because of lockdown. A lot of people's always said to us, "Oh, you want to get it on YouTube?" So we went down the YouTube sort of like side of things, and yeah, I do enjoy filming and putting the movies together. I think what's disappointing for me at the moment is I want to be out there. We want to be doing stuff, don't we? We want to be travelling, and at the moment it's very hard with lockdown.
Very hard.
Yeah, very hard.
Almost impossible.
Yeah, so the channel's going to grow, and it will grow even faster and even more so when we start travelling. So get this COVID out of the way, and then we'll be getting some good content and drone footage, really.
Lottie wants to know, would you ever buy a house again in the future?
Would I buy a house again? I wouldn't say it's on top of my list at the moment.
That's not what she asked.
I'd probably say rather than buy a house, I'd much prefer to build a log cabin. So I much prefer to buy some woodland, somewhere where it's nice and warm, and build a log cabin.
Just a simple before you get too old.
Yeah, just a simple log cabin before my wrists actually totally packing. But yeah, a nice log cabin, I think. Just with nice, just back to basics, solar panels, you know, log fire, and so on.
So we've got a question from Almath. He says,
Hi, Al.
how much is the insurance, and is it for the UK only, or have you gone with one with European cover?
It's just UK only at the moment. I think it's about. It's a standard motorhome policy because it goes on your V5 what the vehicle is registered as. So this is a motor caravan, so it's same as any other motorhome. So around about £350 or something like that for the year. But yeah, it's just the standard UK one. I haven't really looked into the insurance going abroad. We've had a green cards and that before for driving abroad, so I don't know. I suppose when the time comes and we get out of this lockdown and so on, then I will be looking at
that. Also, we've got one from Many Fun Adventures.
Oh, okay.
They want to know, does it bother you having KMPH on your Speedo, or have you just got used to it?
Yeah.
You've got little stickers on there, haven't
yeah,
you?
I do tend to put little stickers on there. I can convert miles and kilometres. I don't have a problem with that. But I think when you're driving abroad, I tend to notice it in France quite a lot. The speeds tend to jump up and down quite quickly. And I think, I think it's just easier when you're driving in the UK. I just put some stickers on there, just so I know what 30, 40 and 50 is really. And it's the same with the motorbike's in kilometres. So kilometres doesn't bother me at all, especially when you're in Europe, it's all kilometres anyway. So no, it doesn't bother me at all.
It's just, you've just got them little reminders on there for the main ones
for the visual, really, yeah. Rather than working, if you're in a 30 zone, rather than working it out, I know my first notch on the speedo is 30, yeah.
And lastly, for the YouTube ones, Carl Smith.
Carl Smith.
Hi pal, great video.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you.
He wants to know what you're doing for Christmas and New Year. Are you spending it in the camper?
Yes, definitely spending it in the camper.
Well, apart from Christmas dinner.
Yeah, Christmas dinner we're over at Helen's mother's.
Christmas bubble and all that.
Yeah, Christmas bubble.
I bet you're sick of that word, bubble.
Yeah. There'll be a fair bit of this going on, no doubt. I think Christmas is just spending time I've been working, so it's nice just to chill out and maybe I've got a couple of jobs on the camper as well, just minor things. And then I think New Year we are hoping to get to the coast, maybe North Yorkshire or something like that, but like I said, with the lockdowns it's very hard. So yeah, that's another good question. Thanks for that. We'll send that in, Carl, right? Thanks, Carl. Thanks for joining us anyway on this Christmas special, and thanks for your questions as well. Much appreciated in taking part in this. We will be out and about hopefully over New Year, so whether it's out on foot with the dogs, doing some work on the camper, I don't know, but we are intending and keeping his fingers crossed that we are going to get out there. So who knows where we're going to end up. So
Tier 5.
Yeah, stay tuned for Tier 5. But
Good
yeah,
laugh.
thanks for joining us. If you haven't done already, please share. Yeah, please share and keep the channel growing. And I think both myself and Ellen would like to wish you a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and obviously keep safe. Bye!
Can I take this itchy beard off
Yeah,
now?
I think that should do it, I think. It's a wrap!